What's up, YouTubers? Welcome to the video. Happy Monday to you guys. So as I mentioned, I'm filming this on Friday. I got home from the golf tournament roughly around, close to 4 o'clock. And we had right up here, man, we had a big old storm coming. I checked the radar. Sure enough, severe thunderstorm was coming. Mr. Kevin even snapped a picture, but I ran to the shed, got Mr. Elite Spreader here. It got rained on pretty good. I need to go wash it out again because it looks like I still got protein down there in the bottom of it. So I ran, got my protein. I was like, oh, I gotta do it. And I threw my protein down. Didn't have time to get the camera. Barely got it put down because it started coming down really fast. And I would look like a Looney Tune with the thunder and the lightning, and I'm out here throwing it down. So I put down about 3/4 of the bag. I kept 1/4 of it. I didn't want to put down a full pound of potassium, but we really needed that rain. It rained for a solid 10 minutes. I think Mr. Kevin's weather station probably said we got about ½ an inch. So it rained really well, but we're still in a level 3 severe risk. So we got tornadoes all over the place here in North Carolina. So we're likely to get more rain, but it definitely, a good solid 10-15 minutes of moderate rain watered that fert in, and that's exactly why I took advantage of it and threw it down. So I apologize to you guys. I didn't get to, make a big presentation about it and all that good jazz, but for the record, the 12-0-24 protein has been applied. It's down, just want to make note of that, and again, just wanted to give you guys that update. What's up, YouTubers? It's Mr. Ferguson here once again. Thank you guys for coming back to Central North Carolina for yet another video here in my lawn. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. As I always say, thank you to all the new subscribers as well. We got a couple things I want to talk about in this video. I'm filming this again in the 4K 60 because it's going to be a shorter video. My plans kind of got ruined yesterday. That's what I want to talk about. We had a cold front come through last night, as I mentioned. We had severe storms come through. So we're in a beautiful 70-degree morning. It's 9:30 right now, and it's in the 70s. It feels amazing out here. This is what spring should feel like, but North Carolina, man, you get early spring and the cold in the 60s, and then it just jumps to 80s like that, and it's like summertime. So I'm very thankful for the 70s today. As I mentioned, I got home from the golf tournament yesterday. I said, oh, we got a storm coming. I looked at the radar. It was about to hit. Nice amounts of rain. I grabbed my Elite Spreader out there. I grabbed the protein, grabbed a screwdriver, slit that bag open, put 3/4 of the bag in, and just went. I was like, crap, what setting do I put on? I think I did like 5.5, and spread it, and I had to crank it up a little bit in the backyard just a touch to get it put out, but we got it all spread throughout the yard. So thank God. And it was as it began to rain, the fertilizer was getting wet in the spreader, and I was like, oh man. And so I had to quickly wash it out the best I could. Then the rain really started coming down, and as you guys saw, I just left it on the back porch, and then later on I had to go and clean it so that we don't have problems with that spreader. But I got to give credit where it's due. Mr. Elite Spreader by Scotts did okay last night. In a pinch, in a hurry, it did what I needed it to do, so I'll give credit there. So that kind of ruined my plans for this video. I was going to do a whole video on spreading the protein, and hey, we're going to apply this. So it's already down. It's already watered in. We should see a green up, a little bit of green up from the nitrogen here soon, but also that potassium in the soil. I really need to get on top of doing a soil test. That's what I really need to do. I want to see what our soil's looking like. But again, thank you for joining. That's kind of what's happened the past couple of days. I just want to kind of go around, and it's going to be obviously a quicker video and higher definition, but we'll go around and kind of look at the lawn, talk about what it's looking like right now. For that, I want to mention something else. So I'll turn around with the sun facing me for this one, so maybe you can see me better. It's something I don't really like to talk about a whole lot on the channel, but the channel's growing, and that part I do like to talk about. Thank you. Obviously, this channel wouldn't grow without people that are interested. I simply try to be honest with y'all. I show you exactly what I'm doing in my lawn, And my goal is not so much to be the best looking lawn in the neighborhood, but my goal nowadays is to help somebody else have an awesome lawn that they thought never could be possible. Like me, I never thought I would have the lawn that I have. I set out with this goal to have a great looking lawn, and I did it by myself, and the satisfaction of that is so awesome. And so the channel has begun to grow as I've been on this journey, and I owe it all to you guys, and I thank you for that. And so it ties into that in the fact that just yesterday YouTube emailed me, and we now have a feature on the channel called Super Thanks, and I didn't know what that was. I had to read about it, but basically it's kind of like on Twitch when you'll go to these different streamers and they have what's called just like a I don't know, they give out, like, you can tip them $5 and say, hey man, like, did you hear about, you know, and there's people that do it, and my surprise, I'm like, are these guys dumb? Like, I worked hard for my money, but there's people, there's kids, there's adults that will tip $5 to these big time streamers. If they want to be heard by the streamer, they'll tip them a couple dollars, and it highlights their message, and the streamer is very likely to see it, obviously, because the person's invested a couple of dollars into it. So this is something similar that it looks like YouTube does now, and so it's available on the videos apparently that it qualifies for. It's not something that I want to mention all the time. If you guys want to contribute to the echo spreader, if you want to contribute to the fertilizer, if you want to be heard, I do my best to try to answer your comments and your concerns and your questions as much as I can. As the channel grows, hopefully it will continue to grow, that's going to be more difficult, and so please don't get any hard feelings if I'm unable to respond to your question or your thoughts. I try to do my best on that, but as the channel grows, it is going to become more harder. But if for some reason you want to contribute your hard-earned money to the Mr. Ferguson family and the channel, the Super Thanks is there, and if you want to comment, God bless you. But I'm not going to promote that. You work hard for your money, but it's there. I just wanted to make mention to it. If you see it, if you're like, what the heck is this? It's a new feature that they've enabled, and so Super Thanks. If you want to use it, great. If not, hopefully we'll be able to comment to everything you want to say in the comments below. All right, so with all of that said, let's go to the lawn. And as I mentioned, if I squat down here, try to get my shadow out of it, you can see the grass is, man, that rain really kicked it and got it growing fast. You know, the bulk area right here has been fine. As somebody mentioned, you know, somebody was talking about, Mr. Ferguson, have you heard about the tuna cup challenge? You know, put your sprinkler out in the tuna cup and, you know, 1/8 of an inch and all this. How much are you actually putting down? You're probably ripping yourself off. It takes a long time for a sprinkler to sit out there and adequately water your lawn. And absolutely, I heard about this, you know, a long time ago from Alan Hain. Fully aware. My problem is the cost of watering my lawn versus what the grass needs. Ultimately, for me, this is my thoughts. These are my opinions, and I have to tell several. And I'm sorry if I repeat myself to those that keep coming back, because we get new people coming in and they don't know, what does this guy think? What's his thoughts? But for us here where we live, we are on city water. We do not have a well. We do not have endless amounts of water to throw in our grass. So we use things like Hydrotain to reduce watering. We do water when we need to try to use it as a band-aid into the next rain, like what we had last night. And we're supposed to have more rain today. So when I'm watering, I'm doing the very bare minimum to try to survive until the next rain, because it costs so much money. And as I mentioned last year, our base rate, which I don't have all the information on this, but the base rate for our water went up $10. So whatever our 5,000 gallons, I can't remember what it is. That's probably way off. But whatever we're paying per month, it went up from $65 a month to $75, just the base rate. And then on top of that, when you're talking about throwing sprinklers out, watering the grass, washing your cars, we're pumping so much water that, I mean, the bill, we've had our bill up. I think we may have had a $200 water bill before. So then it goes back to, what is your occupation? How much money are you willing to pump into keeping your grass alive? And I will tell you guys now, and if you've been around my channel, you know this is true of me. I'm going to let the grass die before I, have my bank account emptied. I'm not going to empty my bank account to water my grass. My God, that is not one of the most important things. I love my lawn, but guess what? Yes, we can. I know the guy that commented was saying, hey, you could, instead of investing in grass seed, which is going up, you can invest in the water to keep the grass you got alive. But even in doing that, sometimes you're just not going to be able to save the lawn with the water that it needs. It's going to dissipate, and then you're out all that money for the water, and then you got to turn around and buy grass seed anyway. So you're doubling down. So that's just my thoughts on that. And I have no hard feelings for anybody that says, Mr. Ferguson, you're just not watering properly. You're probably right, and I would agree with you. But the problem is it costs so much money where I live to water that I'm just trying to survive, and I'm praying, saying, Lord, send the rain. That's why we need adequate rain. And so that's my thoughts on that 2 cents. Stop it, man. Look at these roses my wife's got going on. Look at these things. They're just, if in this 4K 60 frames, I bet they are popping right now. Let's see if we can get really close to them and not shadow them, mess them up. But look at that, man. Look at the quality of that video as well. Love it. But look how awesome the roses are looking right now after that rain. She said the petunias. Yeah, look at this, the petunias. And that, wow, look at these flowers. I don't know the names, I apologize. Our lights laying down there, sorry, forgive me about that. But the petunias right here have really, they love that rain last night. It was a good, man, Mr. Kevin can give you probably the details, but we had to have had 1.5 inches at least of rain. Really needed it, and we're supposed to get more today. But the flowers are really popping. Look at this guy. Oh, look at that. Our strawberry plant. Oh, he's got a little bad spot there, but we had another one. Maybe she turned him. Or maybe, oh, there's another guy over here. Yeah, he got bad. We don't, this is just for fun to show the girls. I think this is some basil and something else over here. These are our edible ones. What is this in here? Purple kale. So yeah, this is just stuff we're doing for fun to show the girls. But again, our flowers over here doing pretty good. You can kind of see the rain, man, that Jesus rain is what it needs. It just has something in it that our filtrated water that we get from the city don't have. The bank here, the solar green, you know, on top of the bank here, mixed in with our GCI turf. Again, I can't really tell a big color difference, and we have to also factor in the fact we did 700 green effect with the trim nozzle that was putting it out a little heavy, but ultimately it blends in, the solar green blends in well with the GCI turf type tall fescue. So the bank's looking great. Obviously after the rain, it's soaked up, it's full on water. The grass is looking great. This tree continues to get bigger and produce a lot of leaves and provide a lot of shade. So that's something I'm watching for perhaps the future. We did solar green up by the mailbox, if you remember. Half of it, basically this section, was solar green. I did purposefully put solar green by this asphalt because it's Texas bluegrass, it's tall fescue, and it's a drought type mix seed. So I'm hoping with adequate water, whether that means me coming and watering it with the hose, which is what I typically do. I've been coming out here almost every other morning and just putting some water on it with the water hose, but obviously with the heavy rain, we're good. I'm hoping this will survive. I don't want to have to constantly reseed over this thing, kill it off and reseed it over and over again. So we're trying to survive, but again, manage the budget of the cost of the water bill, which is just insane. And it seems like some of the tingy, so if I get in here, let's see if I can do this without casting a shadow. Some of the tingy, you know, you can kind of see some of the die-off maybe in here. If I peel that back, you know, that's why I went ahead and applied the oxystrobin, and we went ahead and put down some propiconazole. I was seeing, you know, some die-off. I was seeing, you see that right there, I was seeing some discolorization. Not sure what it is. You got some green in there, but you got some die-off. Now, one year, the first year I planted grass, I put down way too much grass seed, and we had this happen, but it was okay because it was fighting for position. Like, so much grass could only exist in one spot in the ground with the roots. And so I'm seeing some of this, and this doesn't look like fungus to me. This looks like just like some die-off, but it's green in the area. So maybe some of the grass is dying off. And it's thinning up a little bit because of the heat. I'm not sure, but ever since I applied the natural adjuvant from peat, which is supposed to open up the blades and absorb that fungicide, it's really looked better. I don't see any concerned areas, but again, as I mow today, I'll be checking on that. So anyways, that's a little quick lawn review. It's not the best because it's not mowed, it's not looking pristine. Man, those roses are just looking awesome. So yeah, that's what we're working with this Monday. The storm and putting down that protein kind of messed up my video planned, so I apologize, but there's a quick walkthrough. Talked about a little bit about my watering and why I water the way I do. Talked about some of the die-off right here behind me and some of the blades I'm seeing. It looks like the fungicide preventative treatment seems to be working. We had rain all the way into last night happening, and so I'm glad that I've went ahead and put my fungicide down, the oxystrobin, propiconazole, and natural adjuvant. It's in the blades, and I've got a reminder on my Yard Mastery app to let me know it's time to reapply. Let's overlap it and make sure we don't have fungus appearing in the lawn. So it's time to get it cut. I probably need to just go ahead, if I have time. It's Mother's Day weekend for me. Mother's Day has not occurred this Sunday yet. You guys watching it, it is over, but it's about mom. It's not about me, and it's not even about grass. It's about my wife and all that she does for our family. So thank you to all the moms that may be watching. We will try to get back to it on Wednesday and talk about some more lawn care stuff. Thanks for all the new subs. Give it a like if you like the video, and we hope to see you on Wednesday. Check out the Mr. Ferguson blog for the midweek quickie if interested there as well. God bless you guys. We'll see you on the next one.